This pandemic has certainly changed how we operate in the church. Online worship, for example, that's something that not many were doing, or some were doing, and now everyone is suddenly doing it better or for the first time. But, we're managing that change, and that change is okay, and some wonderful blessings are coming as a result. We're thankful for that. But today I'm thinking in particular about two things. We have a funeral coming up later this week, and that's going to be a change compared to what the family would have otherwise been expecting. At least in our state, there are restrictions on how many people can gather in one place at one time. It's 10. The person who died had more than 10 loved ones who wanted to say an appropriate goodbye, in line with their expectations, and that's not going to happen. It's going to be a hard change. I think about weddings. We're just getting into wedding season now, and brides and grooms-to-be are starting to wonder if the restrictions are still going to be in place when they want to gather together their friends and family to celebrate a really, really big day. It's on my mind today because I heard of a couple within our church whose wedding is scheduled for early summer, and as they started to consider that the restrictions for gathering and how many people can gather might be in place, they're starting to think about some potential changes, maybe even to changing the wedding date to next summer. Those are hard changes. On Tuesday of Holy Week, Jesus talked about change, a lot of change. He had a lot of different conversations with a lot of different people, but change was a regular part of it, and he basically told everyone that change is something that we should really get used to, all of us. He told his disciples at one point, he said, there's going to be a day when you're not going to be able to have any funeral at a church or a wedding at a church with anybody. He didn't say it that way, but the disciples were admiring the large temple, the large bricks, and what a phenomenal structure it was, a beautiful structure, just like so many churches all around the world. But Jesus said, don't get too attached to it, because one day it's all going to be destroyed, along with everything else on this planet. He was talking about Judgment Day. That's what he spent a lot of time talking about on Tuesday of Holy Week, Judgment Day, the day when everybody's life will change, forever, in every possible way, and to make sure that we're ready for it. Change is such a regular part of everyone's life, and it will be such a regular part of everyone's life. It even touched the life of Jesus in a really significant way. His life changed too, that week, later on that week, on Friday. And you know what changed about his life? His future. That week changed who Jesus was going to be spending his future with. He was going to spend it with you. One of the parables Jesus told on Tuesday of Holy Week was about a wedding banquet. And there was a man who was inviting people to the wedding banquet, and the man in the story represents God the Father, our Father in heaven. And do you know who he invited to his wedding banquet? You. You. That's why Jesus was there that week, to make sure that the invitation went through. And it did. With all the different things in your world that might possibly change, with all the different things that have already changed, there is one thing that will never change now. Your seat at the wedding feast, where the only changes that will happen to you will be changes that will bring you entirely into perfection in every category of your existence. Whatever else happens in your life, whatever else changes, now that can never change. It can never change. So rest well tonight, my friends, because God's love for you and his ability to care for you and his invitation that was given just for you